Force is what gives the Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Jedi Trials, episode 46. Only through knowledge and meditation can we know the true way of the cards. I am your host, DHaus, here for an episode, not with Mike the Rebel Spy, but an old voice, an old stanky voice you may recognize. CX3.
Old voice.
CX3, Chris, the man himself. The old crotchety grandpa of Destiny. He's known to some as the Destiny God. To others, he's just that weirdo telling kids to get off his lawn. But man, I'm glad you're here.
Oh yeah, me too. You know, I had to hibernate for about a month. I think Mike is still in hibernation, so I'm not gonna wake that bear up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mike died, actually.
Yeah, well, I know Jay did. So, and you know, Mike pretty much copies everything Jay does. So,
dang. Okay. No, what's crazy? So Mike is he's actually going to Europe. He's like gallivanting around Germany and Switzerland.
Oh
and,
my God, I hate guys like that. I'm going to Europe.
I'm pretty sure he's like going for free. Like I think it's like a family gift.
Is.
So.
Of course he's going for free.
So all of our European listeners, hit him up, man. While he's doing the touristy thing. Like, you're the Rebel Spy.
He always gets things for free. I remember when we went to Worlds, and he got like 30 cocktails at the bar for free. Straight up walked out on the tab, didn't tell anybody.
Oh, my God.
And if anyone out there has any evidence that didn't happen, they're lying. You can ask Jay. He had 30 drinks and just walked out.
Oh
so that
gosh.
just lets you know the kind of person he is.
Oh my gosh, was that the Knights of Ren happy hour?
Great question. Absolutely, that's that's when that happened.
Perfect.
That's when I got. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's when you got the sweet giveaways and your drawstring backpack.
Well, Jay got the backpack. I got the super cool thermal deck box.
I did too.
Jeremy signed mine, and well, apparently old Jeremy, he's seen a couple videos of mine. He wasn't too happy about me being there, so I can't reveal what he wrote on here. But needless to say, I don't think that guy's gonna send me any Christmas cards.
Or if he does, like that would be the most epic moment in history. If he did, I would be really happy about that. Oh man, so you know, Chris, you and I, we go way back in Destiny Land, Destiny World.
Mm-hmm. Like the front seats of a '67 Cadillac.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, because I've been hanging out with you and Jay too much, mm-hmm. I keep telling people, like when people are talking about things, I'll say, "Man, you've been saying that for 47 years," and they keep asking me. Why do you keep talking about 47 years? What is it about 47 years? I'm like, you know, it would be too hard to explain.
It's literally the perfect random long amount of time. Because it's not hyperbole. Like, it's not like 300 years. It's just long enough to where, like, this could happen in a lifetime, but a long time ago. Like, 47 years is the perfect, like, gray area. It's like, nobody remembers that, you know?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I say it way too much, and people are like, that's really weird. You need to stop that. I'm like, yeah, I know.
It's not 50 years. It's 47, you know?
47. There's something very important about 47. All right. So I brought Chris on because, you know, on the old Twitter, I posted something yesterday. There's been a little bit of unrest in the community because we were told November release for Across the Galaxy, and it's October 9th, and we pretty much know nothing about the set except for the few things that the original article and then the stuff the FFG staff played at Nova. And so I tweeted a GIF from The Office because pretty much all my GIFs come from The Office. It's the best show ever made. With Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute yelling, "Where are they?" Yeah. And so I tweeted this yesterday, and I said, looking around for Across the Galaxy spoilers, like, And then I tweeted this GIF. And you know what, Chris?
Yeah.
FFG read my Twitter feed, and they said, you know what? DHaus is asking for Across the Galaxy spoilers. We better give him some. So, not me, but give the community some. You know.
Well, you know what's crazy is I'm not down with the tweeter. I'm 90.
Be on the tweeter.
I'll be 93 this Friday. So I don't have the Twitter. But I do complain to Discord every time something rustles my jimmies. And I basically
wait, you complain about stuff? That doesn't sound like you. No, that's not right.
No. Well, yes, but no. Essentially, I just kind of went on a rant on Discord, and I think it finally. Every day, I would kind of just say something new, like, FFG hates us. We bought two-player starter sets. We have to buy 2 of every character. Don't tell me they don't have the money to give us some spoilers every couple of months. And then eventually I got to the point where I was just like, does anybody even care? It almost feels like an abusive relationship. We give FFG all of our time and our money. I make these YouTube videos about their game that they don't put any effort into, and what do we get in return? We get Childish Gambino.
Hey, but you know what? It made me happy, and it's the time of unrest and the lull is over, people. We have our first spoilers, so this is just like the rain trickling in at the start of a big storm. We're about to get dumped on, and it's going to be great.
Great metaphor. Wonderful. This next expansion is going to be a monsoon.
Yes. So we're gonna talk about these spoilers today, and we're just gonna jump right into it because they're great. First of all, they're all yellow, and they're all based around the movie Solo. Now, just knowing who you are, I bet you probably hated it because you're an old crotchety grandpa yelling at the kids. But am I wrong?
Hated it?
Yeah.
I loved it. Are you kidding me?
Solo?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I cannot predict your behavior anymore. I thought I could, but maybe not.
No, I really thought like the cast was young and full of energy, and they kind of reached out, and they got that that girl from Game of Thrones. I don't know the actress's name, but she was really
Emilia
good.
Clarke.
Yeah, and there were references to the other Star Wars movies. They got Donald Glover in there, and that was great. I loved it.
Well, look at you.
Just kidding. I actually hated it. I actually really didn't like it at all. One bit. I'll never buy the DVD.
I knew you would. I knew. We talked. We texted. I think the only other personal texting conversation you and I have had is arguing about The Last Jedi and how I loved it and you hated it. But
no, well, we kind of got into a big fight. It was so I have a we have a little underground organization, but I think it's safe to say, as far as content creation, you, me, Mike, and Jay are the Elite Four.
I did not say that, for the record. But
I said it.
Go on.
But we kind of all got into this argument where I was like, hey, it's been like 9 movies since 2 lightsabers have touched, and everyone seems to be cool with this except me. Like, does this even feel like Star Wars anymore? And of course, you and Mike are like, what are you talking about? Solo's great. That's right. Yeah. Like, oh boy, guns and ships. Like, if I wanted this, I'd go watch Star Trek.
Yeah, okay, I'm remembering that conversation. Because for you, it's like Star Wars is lightsabers and lightsabers only.
It's like
and
lightsabers.
I'm like, I don't care about lightsabers at all, so.
But it's what makes Star Wars unique. The Jedi and the Sith are kind of the movers and the shakers, and Disney's just like, well, we don't want anything to do with that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we can't get into this again. This is not what people, tuned into Jedi Trials, because we could go on and on and on. The
trust
point
me,
is,
I live on the internet. People live for these stupid debates. It's too much. You're on the Jedi Trials, and the official stance of the Jedi Trials is that Solo is fantastic. Okay, so suck it up, Buttercup, and ride the wave with me. Come on, Solo's great, and we're getting some Solo characters, some Solo cards, and we're gonna talk about old Lando Calrissian, the smooth
and sophisticated one. Before I get into this, Chris, how much have you played the other Lando we got back in the Pirate War?
Ooh. I remember when he was spoiled, and me and Jay were both very disappointed that he didn't look like he'd be very good. But I like the character so much specifically from Return of the Jedi. He was okay in Empire, but I didn't like the character of Lando till Return of the Jedi, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to find a deck that makes Lando work. Keep in mind, this was back in 1952 where we didn't play supports.
47 years ago.
Yeah, 47 years ago, support decks didn't exist. Now it's all the rage, but there was a time in Destiny where you did not want to pull supports from your packs because they were just not playable. But now these kids get like 90 resources turn one and flood the board with ships, so that's all people play now are supports. But back in the day...
So you made a Lando deck?
No, I never did. I could never get them to work.
Yeah, I never did. I know Mike started playing to get hyped for solo. He started playing Lando Han from Legacies, like a planned explosion deck, and he got off so many planned explosions with the two of them.
Nice.
So that's like pretty much the only thing he was worth. But in every game, he'd forget the one thing that Lando's good at, and that's bringing an extra resource to the game. So, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of important. It's kind of all he did.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, come on.
So anyway, we got a new Lando. This is an 11 health legendary. Okay, legendary. He is a character - scoundrel - pilot. So a little subterm subtitle.
How crazy is FFG going to start getting with these? It's like character - scoundrel - pilot - donut enthusiast - carpenter - It's like, come on, just
like they just stop doing abilities just to have subtitles.
Well, yeah, it's fine, but also you need to include cards that work with that. Otherwise, you're just wasting space on the card. Like, if we're gonna get a card that says spot a scoundrel or spot a pilot or spot a bounty hunter, that's great. But I haven't seen any. Have you? Have you seen any card that's like spot a Jedi or spot a Sith?
No.
All right, so they're wasting our time with this.
But there, I mean, we haven't even seen 1/10 of the cards from this new set.
Them and their labels.
Don't get your panties up in a bunch. You'll be all right. It'll be okay.
Ooh, such language.
Your lawn will grow back. Okay. So let's talk about his die sides.
Right.
He's got 2 range damage, 2 indirect damage, 1 disrupt, 1 resource, and then 4 resources for 2 resources. You got to pay 2 to get 4. You know, that's just and a blink. Okay, but he's got a power action, and power action is play a yellow vehicle, which yellow vehicle. There aren't a lot that are played, but just wait. Play a yellow vehicle from your hand, decreasing its cost by 1, and giving it ambush. If that vehicle is the Millennium Falcon, you may activate it. All right. Thoughts on this guy?
I like his die. The 4 for 2 is awkward, but I think it's really good value. Especially if you're going for like a C3PO deck or planned explosion, things like that.
I mean, Thrawn sees a ton of play, and he's got that 2 resource side. Granted, you have to roll this in and do something before you get disrupted or something, but...
Yeah, well, Thrawn... I mean, that's why people play Thrawn. It's like you're either getting focuses or resources, and either way, you're making a ton of money. Now, keep in mind, the 4 obviously stands out, but it's only one side of his die. He doesn't have, like, a focus. He has a disrupt.
Yeah, the disrupt is sad.
I mean, it's obviously this character is meant to be played with vehicles. A lot of vehicles do indirect, so his damage sides stack with that. I don't have an issue with that. The 1 disrupt and the 1 resource are kind of awkward, but standard. I mean, he's a 15 cost character. 11 health is, standard as well. His power action, I think the goal is going to be to try to do this as soon as possible.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, like name off the top of your head the yellow vehicles.
Okay, so we got Millennium Falcon. There's 2 versions of that.
About to be 3.
About to be 3. Let's see. Pirate speeder tank is neutral, right?
Yep. We've got the N1 Starfighter, the little Naboo
who
thing.
could forget the N1 Starfighter?
I know. Hey, hold up though, because
everyone's favorite.
I have wanted to play this, and I just thought, man, it always gets outshined by these red vehicles. But it's not bad. I mean, it's got a 2 direct, 3 indirect, 2 shield, 1 resource, a special, and a blank, and the special is ready or discard an exhausted vehicle that is not a copy of this support. So you could be theoretically readying your Falcon, or if you're playing against a vehicle deck, you'd be like, nope, just exhaust that dude.
Yeah, and well, when I first saw this card, I thought that's okay, but it's going to see casual play. But there's a lot of little things about this power action that add up. For one, ambush is huge on a vehicle. Just to get that extra action up to where, like, thanks to like cards like Fang Fighter, vehicle decks are actually managing to claim the battlefield once in a blue moon.
Yep.
And then so if you are playing the Millennium Falcon, which is obviously what you should do, which I appreciate FFG for giving thematic playability to characters, making Lando good with the Falcon. Not only do you get ambush, but you can activate it. So if you roll in the Falcon, get a really good side, you can go ahead and resolve that die with that extra action. Your opponent can't really do anything about it. So I feel like he's designed thematically and well. I really appreciate what they did with him. 15 seems pretty fair. I mean, that pretty much all these new legendaries. I feel like we're not going to see a lot of legendaries above like 18 anymore. They're kind of going for this mid-tier legendary thing. We had Luke last set, and Lando this set, and I appreciate that.
Because I mean the guys above 18 just don't see play. Like Sabine was the last one we saw, but that's because Sabine was just busted all over the place. So.
Yeah. Well,
but I mean, we'll talk about another 20-pointer in a minute. But
oh god,
the middle idea, like the R2P2 kind of style of 215s or 14 and 16. I would love to see more 2-character decks because right now it's just all 3-character Snoke Yoda stuff. So if it brings it back, I'm all about it. And then the other thought I had, like the quad jumper is a yellow vehicle that you can drop.
Right, yeah.
So you could power action first turn to play a quad jumper for 2, roll it out, get some value, do some stuff. Next turn, you overwrite the quad jumper for a Falcon or for a pirate speeder tank for 2, or whatever. There's some stuff there that you could do. Quad jumper doesn't see a ton of play, but if you could play a quad jumper for 3, and if you have Weapons Factory Alpha, and you could play quad jumper for 1, or I mean, obviously you could play Falcon, the 4-cost Falcon for 2 right away if you have it, which is gross and pretty awesome.
I will say, I think just by making it to where it has to be a yellow vehicle and not just a vehicle is going to be very restrictive, because when I think vehicles, I usually think red, because there's so many. Like, Rally Aid is unfair. I'd go so far as to say, like, Tech Team is unfair. It's ridiculous getting 3-4 vehicles out in one turn. But the restriction of yellow vehicle, it makes Lando just really fair. Like, he's not broken. If he was any vehicle, I'd say he's probably going to be tier 1, like, broken, abused by the Hyperloops all day long. But I think the yellow restriction is... It makes him just a really solid, good character. Yeah.
Oh gosh, if that was any vehicle, oh dear goodness, it would be. Well, we'd be seeing U-wings coming back.
At least it would be like Lando and Han Solo tier 1 decks as opposed to Sabine or Bazine.
I'll give you Sabine. Sabine, you hate Rebels because you hate everything, but most people love Rebels, and Sabine is great. But I hear you. Han and Lando on a top table at a Star Wars event still makes more sense.
Yeah. It's like It's like, well, the test I do with whether a character grouping is cool or not is imagine if it was actually in a movie. It's like, oh, would this be the climactic battle at the end of the game? Would it be Han and Lando versus Snoke, Afra, and one battle droid? It's like, would that be an epic conclusion of that movie? No, it would be lame. What is the one battle droid going to just shoot Han in the back and that's the end of his story? I don't know. People love their 3 character decks. What can I say?
You didn't play Pretend much when you were a kid, I can tell.
What are you talking about?
You know what I mean. All right, let's keep going.
Yep.
So next one, another yellow character. This is L337, the droid revolutionary. This is Lando's droid. It's an 8 health rare character dash droid. Its point cost is 8/11, so immediately comparable to Maz. Die sides are 1 focus, 2 focus, 1 discard, 1 shield, 1 resource, blank. And it's got some crazy text here going. It says, before this character is defeated, spot a vehicle support to attach this card to it as a 0-cost mod upgrade. If that vehicle is the Millennium Falcon, ready it. If this card would leave play as an upgrade, set it aside instead. So this set, we're getting, vehicle mods so you can upgrade your vehicles and make them even more powerful. And so, thematically, this is kind of a cool ability where it's like, hey, the droid gave, her life for the Falcon to be awesome. Mm-hmm. But with 1 focus and 2 focus, that's some good focus for an 8/11 cost, 8/11.
For what you pay for this character, 8/11, I think there's no question. You absolutely play this character at Elite. Now, I'm assuming this is how this works. I'm assuming if you bring this character into the game at Elite, when she becomes a mod, she gets to roll in both of her dice.
Yeah, that's the consensus of the community right now. Is that you get both dice.
If it's just 1 dice, I'd say that ability is not really worth pondering over. But if you get both dice as a mod, these are not bad dice. A double focus, a discard side. It's not like a 1 disrupt that you reroll. That's a discard, which is huge in this meta, where 1 discard can completely change momentum. And double focus is nothing to scoff at either. If her dice stick around when she's defeated, this character is incredibly good. And I can totally see this character being played at the top tables in this kind of meta where we're playing I can see this character being played alongside Yoda, and then a rookie pilot or something. Just to drive me absolutely up the wall.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the pairing is Yoda L337 Gungan. That's how you fit all the points in there. You remember that? Remember that scene in Return of the Jedi?
Remember that fight scene at the end of Revenge of the Sith where it was Obi-Wan versus Yoda, L337, and one Gungan, unnamed Gungan?
Man, that scene moved
and the Gungan beat him.
It's why I named my first child after L337.
You know what I just really know? So I didn't know what this droid's name was until I looked at this card because this movie was so terrible and forgettable.
Wrong.
So the droid's name is Leet.
Yeah, Leet.
That is so cute, Disney.
I love it.
Look at Disney getting the culture of its audience.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that written out, probably since I was in middle school. But
people were typing that when I was 8 years old and playing World of Warcraft. So
Leet move, dude.
Very, very mature, Disney. Thank you for this. I appreciate it.
Yep. So there's some options here. I was also thinking, man, I loved playing Hera vehicles back in Empire War before vehicles were cool. And so Hera, Leet, and a 7-coster, Ezra or Rookie Pilot or whatever. Hey, hate it all you want, but
I'm gonna
Hera and Leet could have hung out.
I'm gonna build me a Leet deck. People are gonna start saying that too. That's what.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see it. I think we see a lot. I think we see a lot of play for these cheap cost 10, 11 elites. Regardless, Like even Anakin, I didn't think we'd see so much Anakin. Now Anakin is, a mainstay. So
yeah, well, people don't worry about what the character is. They care about what color they bring, how cheap they are, and how much health they have. That's what people look at. So when they introduce indirect damage, obviously they have to incentivize indirect damage over regular damage. So what they decided to do was make indirect damage insanely high. So it's like, oh, well, it's a high amount of damage, but you distribute it as you wish, so it doesn't feel like it. Well, now people are just like, I got to get more health. And that's why we've seen such a rise in 3-character decks, is because the character die doesn't matter so much as the amount of health they bring. And as an extension of that, the games got longer, and now the games go so long that vehicles are tier 1. So I would like to see vehicles play down just a hair to where, like, I'm not going to get blown up with indirect damage for playing 2 characters, And I don't know how... honestly, I thought this, and I said it in a video, but then I lost that game and decided not to upload it. Tell me if this is ridiculous or not. We begin treating supports exactly like we treat upgrades. We put a limit on how many can be played, and we implement an overwrite rule to get bigger supports out.
So everybody becomes a quad jumper.
Essentially. But it's like, look, go look at a normal game of Destiny now. It looks like a mess. It looks like I just dumped my dice and my cards out on a table, and it's like, no, these are just all my supports I'm playing. I don't like the look of it with 2 players with like 8 different supports out, and
the Afro decks get out of control, that's for sure, because they've got climate arrays and droids and hailfire droid tanks and all that.
The amount of
it's crazy. It's crazy. I wouldn't say it's out of hand. I don't.
Oh, it's out of hand. It is out of hand.
Because there's ways they've built in other ways to match it with your characters too. Like, I mean, I've had this built to last Ayla Kanan deck since Wave of the Force dropped. Mm-hmm. 2 characters, only 20 health, so it kind of sucked against the indirect. But I was running Hone Skills with all these unique upgrades, and I would have a character with 5 upgrades like every single game, pretty much, because it's so easy to do this.
I feel like upgrade players are at a disadvantage to support players, because when our characters die, the upgrades go away, and supports, there aren't enough ways to get those off the table. Yes, there's that yellow event that's like, get rid of dice and blow up a support, but it's when you factor in things like Rally Aid, characters like Yoda, you get out so many supports. Like, it's not uncommon to see 2 tech teams and a Rally Aid and about 3 or 4 different ships, and like a couple of Hailfire droid tanks, and then a Fang fighter. It's so overwhelming. It doesn't look good, and I don't know. I hope we have ways to deal with supports. Otherwise, I'm afraid we're going to see a whole lot of Leet at the top tables alongside Yoda and a Gungan just blowing us up with ships. It doesn't make sense thematically. Imagine if the Gungan is the only one alive, and so like if I kill the Gungans, do all the ships just go away? Is the Gungan flying all these ships? Like, let's say he rolls out a Fang fighter. Does the Gungan get in the Fang fighter, shoot me for 3, get out, hop in an X-wing, shoot me again, hop out. He goes and gets in a pirate speeder tank. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. And then it's like, I kill the Gungan, all the ships just fly home. They're done.
There's a slight possibility that you're overthinking this, Chris.
No.
Slight possibility.
No. What I'm saying makes sense.
Okay.
I assure you.
Sure. We got to keep going. We just got to move on. All right. Next
Fantastic
one.
character. Love Leet.
Yes. Next one is Kira, Street Savvy. Yellow, 11 health, rare. She is neutral, people. It's important.
It is.
She's 13-16 for her cost. So same as Awakening's Fin, and we know how much Awakening's Fin is played, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Her die sides are 2 range, 3 range for $1, 1 discard, 1 resource, plus 2 resources, blank. And her text says you can include yellow hero and yellow villain events in your deck. That's right. Chris, I know you love mitigation. I know you love removal. And so now your opponents can play He Doesn't Like You and Easy Pickings in the same deck.
Yes.
Here it is.
First of all, do you know this character's name? Like before you looked at this card, if I was like, "Hey, who was the love interest in Solo?" Would you know that character's name?
100%, yes.
You
don't?
Yo, that's Kira, spelled Qi''Ra. Kira.
Yeah.
The god of death. I was waiting for the Death Note crossover.
Oh my gosh.
Her die is really good. Paying a resource for damage, direct damage, is not fun to do in a meta where you just get. They'll put 2 indirect damage on anyone. They'll put 2 indirect damage on a Gungan. So it's like paying 1 to do 1 more where I want. It like Han 1 lost popularity strictly because you had to pay for his 3. Maul doesn't see any play only because you have to pay for his 3. So it's not fun, and I don't like the modified resource. But the fact that it's +2 might make up for the fact that it's modified. But her ability is what is going to drive me up the wall. You can literally have as much removal as you want in the game. And yellow villain, there's going to be a window after rotation where this won't seem as bad. But right now, you can literally have some of the best cards in the game without the barrier of hero and villain if you play this character.
Yeah, and it is only events, so I saw some people talking about upgrades like second chance and stuff, but that's not how it works. It's just events. It's just the mitigation, the stuff, but I mean, theoretically your villains could have access to hyperspace jump and never tell me the odds, in addition to the crazy stuff like easy pickings and
you could play her with what is Lando, 15? You could play her with Lando and get a bait and switch.
Yeah, but that's 31 points, and there is a plot coming, but that doesn't apply. So,
yeah, we'll have a way around that. Oh, you must think we're playing Destiny back in 1962.
But you could run Kira with Cassian and fit that in.
Yeah, you totally could. And they have very similar die sides. He has the discard as well.
Yeah, you can run Rebel. So you could have 4 easy pickings and 4 He Doesn't Like You.
Ooh, I can't wait for that.
Hey, are you looking at the art of this card right now?
I'm looking at. So I've got the Facebook article pulled up. The first comment is that art is rough.
So yeah, for one, that doesn't look like Amelia Clark at all. But look just to the right of her face. There's 2 lights, and they look like eyeballs. Like it looks like the Falcon has eyeballs, and there's like a little black line. It looks like a little face. It looks like the Falcon is mad looking at Kira. Everybody go look up this card, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying.
That is my reaction when I read this ability. That is exactly how my face looked. I was just like, oh my god.
You'll never be able to look at this card the same. It's just so I don't know if they're trolling or what, but why I don't know why there's little pupils in these lights. That's not very effective.
I'm gonna start a show strictly based on the artwork in this game because it is a point of conversation sometimes.
In the next lull of content, that's what we'll do. We'll hit art, but all right,
Destiny
let's keep going.
Art critics. Yep.
So the point is, if you missed it, she pairs really well with Han Solo. So you have another thematic pairing. He's a 15 cost elite with some crazy stuff, and the reason they pair well is because there is a new plot called No Allegiance. The cost of this plot is -1, not 1, -1. So, Chris, you can run a 31-point team, but it says include only if you have no hero or villain characters on your team, and then each of your neutral characters has +1 health. Also, the art in this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's 5 Jawas on like just looking through junk. Like, it's amazing.
You gotta be kidding me with this art. I mean, obviously, so where this really shines is draft. I feel like this is kind of like drafting a punter. I feel like it's like, you're gonna draft a plot, but it's really like all the characters in the rival set are neutral. We have plenty of neutral characters coming out in this set.
Yeah, and you can do Ketsu, Lobot, Anakin right away.
Just the additional 1 health. So Fortify is a 2-cost plot that gives 1 shield. So the value there, so if we incorporate, shields aren't technically health, but you kind of think of them as health. This is a negative plot. All your characters get 1 health, and you get an additional character point, which can make all the difference. That 16 suddenly becomes a 15 and a whole world of characters to... Well, not really. They have to be neutral, but it opens up your options, obviously. And I just hope that we see more plots like this, especially for characters that are 20-plus points. I really would like to see them incentivize playing bigger characters, just to kind of shake things up. It'd be cool to have Luke and Vader and Han and all the big expensive characters viable, and a way to do that is plots. So I just hope that we see more of these like negative plots, in the future.
Yeah. Obviously, this one is very restrictive because it is just you can only have neutral characters, which again is why Kira's game text matters. That you can run hero and villain yellow events, because otherwise you'd be restricted to just the neutral events. So now all your upgrades will have to be like holdout blaster and what else? Canto Bite pistol.
Actually, I don't think. I think even if you have 2 neutral characters without Kira, I think you choose hero or villain. Like, I think the ruling is, I looked it up. I think the exact text is you cannot include hero and villain cards in your deck, but you can have one or the other. So, like, if you have all neutral characters, you can have hero or villain cards. I believe.
I don't think so.
No, I think you can. I mean, I may be completely wrong, but I remember looking it up when like draft was really big, the ruling, and it's like basically if you can have hero cards, but then you can't have villain cards, or you can have villain cards, but then you can't have hero cards. But you get to choose if like all your characters are neutral. Maybe I'm completely out of line on that, but I believe I looked it up, and that's how it worked.
It's been too long since I looked that up. I'm trying to. I feel like people are probably screaming listening to this right now because they know. But I thought you had to have at least one. I don't know. I could look for this forever and not find it. So whatever.
I'm sure someone will just let me know as soon.
Oh no! Right here, I just found it. If a deck has all neutral characters, its deck cannot contain hero or villain cards. I just found it.
That's a bunch of hogwash. Somebody's lying to you.
No, man, I'm looking at the official rules.
No, that's you're acting like a wiseacre. You know
my god! This is why I brought you on tonight for good quality banter. So, anyways, you've got you could do Kira Hondo, you could do Kira Han, you could do 5 Jawas with 35 health, and you don't have to worry about indirect damage anymore. So,
yep.
So yeah. All right, let's keep going. So speaking of really high costed characters, we've got DHaus, the Ruthless Crime Lord, 13 health, legendary. He's a character dash leader. He costs 15 or 20. Rest in peace. That's all I need to know.
His name is DHaus.
Yeah, you didn't know his name, did you?
So, like,
you're the worst Star Wars fan ever.
Do you think he drinks a lot of overpriced, overpackaged water?
Oh my gosh. I hope he's not drinking LaCroix, because that's
Oh, I love that.
That's like poison. They're being sued right now.
No, his name is literally just like an ad for like, are you dry? Then Voss. It's like Voss water.
Oh, that's a bad joke. Okay, his die sides are 2 melee, 3 melee. So this is like Darth Vader Awakenings right here.
No, this is better than Luke Skywalker because Luke only has a 1 focus. Disney. You're telling me this guy is better than Luke? This guy, Dryden Voss.
Everybody, fast forward 5 minutes in the podcast. Let him get this out. He'll tire himself out eventually.
Not only does he hit just as hard as Luke, he focuses better than Luke, and has more health than Luke. Luke Skywalker.
I feel like that's always going to be your argument until they release a new like Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. Because they've given you 2 new Lukes. You just want your Return of the Jedi Luke. I get it.
I mean, it would be nice if they'd quit making characters that are better than Luke that are clearly not better than Luke. Like, I understand.
Are you playing new Luke?
Yeah, I love new Luke.
Well, there you go. Quit whining then.
Yeah, I hate him from the movies because he doesn't fight with lightsabers. He force illusions you to death.
That's because he understands deeper lessons that you don't understand.
Everything that's wrong with Destiny, which is abusing things like force
illusions win games. See, Destiny predicted the plot of The Last Jedi. You're welcome.
Rian Johnson played Destiny, and he was like, "This is great. I'm going to make a movie about this. No fighting allowed. We're just going to illusion each other to death, and we're going to win by mill."
Hey, thank you, Lucas. Thank you for setting the record straight on the real theme of Star Wars for Force Illusion. Appreciate you. Anyway, 2 melee, 3 melee, 2 focus, 1 resource, so you can bait and switch, and then you got a special and a blank, and then the special is one of the weirdest specials in the game. It says, shuffle your deck and look at the top card of it. You may play that card for free. What?
Wow.
What?
This is the most powerful / weakest ability I've ever seen.
Yeah, like the highest ceiling and the lowest floor. Like it could be a like a 20 cost elite that you literally just lose a die when you pull the he doesn't like you out and and you have no dice and they have no dice and you're just like really sad because you wasted all these points. Or you do this thing and then you pop open the top and it's a pirate speeder tank or a vibro cutlass or a dark saber or crime lord.
It's a dark saber and it's like, wow, you're so good at Destiny. What a great strategy. It's like, get out of here.
His subtitle is Ruthless Crime Lord, so it's like they want us to play Crime Lord like round 1. Just drop that thing, you know?
Well, he fights better with a lightsaber than any other character in the game, apparently, even though he didn't in the movie.
He's built for a vibro cutlass, man. Like, it's just made for it.
So this character is looks like a lot of fun when you've had like 3 beers and it's casual night and you're just kind of throwing decks together. You'll never see an ability like that. Because, okay, how much of your deck do you have to just pack full of overpriced garbage to make use of this ability?
That's the point, right? Because, okay, let's rewind. Okay, when Mother Talzin was spoiled, which was spoiled by the Jedi Trials, by the way, we had a whole conversation about this is a card that you build an entire deck around. Like, you don't just wing it and hope it goes well. Like Talzin, you literally pack your deck full of odds. You might have like 2 to 4 evens. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Like, that was a really tough deck restriction, but we see Talzin everywhere. Like, Mother Talzin is like really strong. Granted, her point costs are 9-12, which makes a huge difference. But the whole idea of building a deck around an ability, like, I'm not saying this is good, but I'm saying I am absolutely going to build a deck with two speeder tanks, 2 crime lords, 2 vibro cutlass, 2 dark sabers, all the big like the yellow cost events that are just obnoxious and weird and all that. Like I'm definitely building that and just saying, here we go, let's do this.
So you're gonna what's gonna happen? You're gonna build that deck. You're gonna do this ability, and you're gonna hit an electroshock. Because it's like
I'm not gonna run electroshock. It's gonna be pure aggro, man. It's gonna be
He only has one side that's a special.
Throne room, just throne room it, man. It's fine.
Throne room it. Get out your support that you can't roll in because you just claimed.
That's right.
What a brilliant man.
I know.
And he ugly.
So it's fine. Or I mean, you could throw a battle droid in with this guy. And because I know you love that, and run calling in favors plot. So you're running all these like expensive, like removal cards, but you can pay for them for cheaper because of your calling in favors.
You can pay for them for cheaper because of the calling in favors.
That's right.
This guy's a lot of fun, but he's kind of trash. I'm just.
Who do you pair him with? Who do you pair him with?
One battle droid, please. Battle droids are known to be on their own and not in the movie that they're in.
Okay,
no, I mean, you. How much is Gamorrean Guard?
10.
10. So there's a really high-costed Guardian character if you want to build a deck around him. You could pair him with.
And it got some melee sides to work together.
You would really probably because. Blue events are really strong, or like blue upgrades are really strong. Like, if you could, well, then you got play restriction to worry about. So, I don't know. It's interesting.
You throw the Imperial Guard dude in there.
Maybe
some shields.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way to like you get a 10 costed character in there. You can play like free Maul sabers and things on, but. I don't know. That sounds like trash. Because you got a support character you're playing your big upgrades on.
Oh, yeah, you can get the Dagger Mortis in there. I know you love the Dagger, so...
I love that it's better than all the lightsabers in the game. A dagger.
But
a metal dagger.
You special that into play, and you're very happy. You just save 3 resources, and it's got redeploy, so, So, no, you're wrong on all your characters. The clear winner for what you do is Elite Bazine, because...
Oh, yeah.
Bazine is
I could see Bazine and this guy hanging out.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. That's what I like. It's not a thematic deck, but it's a deck that makes sense. Because I love Obi-Wan Maz, and people are like, it's not a thematic deck. It's like, yeah, but I could see these two characters hanging out. I could see Maz, on the ship with Obi-Wan as he is trying to get Jango to piss off.
Yeah. So, okay, back in the day, I ran the Hairless Assassins. I ran IG-88 and Bazine together, and it was a total just jank deck, but it had, like, Fight Dirties and Deadlies and Thermals, and you basically try to get off some early Bazine specials. And then, you add all these crazy, like, mortar gun and all that stuff. And so I think you could do the exact same thing with this. Like, so try to pull the Darksabers and the Vibro Cutlasses and all those big yellow things. And then, so when Voss dies, it just goes to Bazine, and Bazine slaps some face. It's a thing. And you run Throne Room. You got 4 cards with specials on them.
I'm glad you gave IG-88 the time of day. He needed the appreciation.
Yeah, but he needs a reprint, man. Poor dude.
Who doesn't?
Not Luke. Luke Skywalker's fine.
Yeah, he's great. We have 3 versions. The only one that's playable is when he's old and he doesn't fight anymore. Thank you, FOG. That's the one I wanted to play. You know what? If this character, just one last thing, if you didn't have to shuffle your deck, this character would be, like, fair. For 20 points.
Yeah.
If you could build a deck around getting the card you want to the top of your deck, which is not a mechanic in Destiny yet, so it'd be kind of cool if, like, you built this deck where it's like, it's all about the top card. Maybe it's one of these Night Sister decks, And it's like, if this special was just like, look at the top card of your deck and play it. I mean, that's not that crazy for a 20-costed character.
Yeah.
But no, we have to shuffle it. And for that reason, he's garbage. And he looks like garbage.
No, that's true, because there are a few like blue cards out there that let you rearrange stuff that nobody ever plays because there's no point. So I wonder if... Gosh, but at 20 points elite, we just don't see those played. Like Bo-Katan came out, and I was like, oh, she looks cool, but it's like, who the heck do you pair her with?
Another character that hits harder than Luke, Bo-Katan.
Yes.
Bo-Katan. Who is Bo-Katan?
All right, there's this really cool show called Star Wars Rebels, Chris.
Here we go with this.
Have you watched it? It's got a lot of cool characters.
Such a cool character.
It's such a cool character, man. All right. Next card is a card you would put in a DHaus deck. Okay. This is Wanton Destruction. It's a 3-cost yellow villain event, and it's got a sick art of BT1 blowing people up. I mean, it just looks amazing. Wanton Destruction. For each character die showing damage, deal damage equal to its value to its matching character. So they roll out and God roll you, and you just drop this and murder their face right back before they can murder you.
This would be awesome one meta ago. Right now, there's too many vehicles for like this to be a must include. Yeah. But back before vehicles were big, like I would have loved this card, you know? But people don't really do a lot of damage with character dice anymore. Like, pretty much you're going to see Yoda and Snoke more than any other characters, and they really, between the two of them, have one side that is 2 indirect damage, you know?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I was testing out Kit Fisto from this set, and I was like, I'm going to block all the damage. He's never going to die. And then I kind of realized, like, people don't really roll out their characters to do damage anymore. They kind of just get their board, state going and resolve resources and that kind of stuff. It's not like the days of Vader Raider and things like that, where you roll out Vader and you hit the 2 and the 3, and like that's where this card would shine. But hey, maybe we're in this expansion we may step away from vehicles a little bit. I doubt it, just from what I've seen. But maybe we get back to a meta where the characters actually do something and not their ship brigade. Yeah. And if that's the case, this card is going to be awesome.
You know who this card would be really great against is Awakening's Luke.
Yeah. I think he's going to get really popular in the next set. I think he's going to...
But for real, the one thing I'll say for this is, like I said, Mike and I both love the plot calling in favors, because there's just so many things you can do. But we always talked about, like, on the villain side, there just weren't any... There's not enough, like, high-cost yellow villain events to make calling in favors worth it. And so, because I wanted to play my IG-88 Battle Droid deck with calling in favors. Another one you would love.
Sounds great. At least they're both robots. It makes sense.
Yeah. Actually, the one deck I did build was a calling in favors villain deck was Cad Bane Veteran Stormtrooper. And the whole point is trying to pull off Red Alert. It's a 3-cost red event that lets you ready a non-unique red character. So the idea being, Cad Bane dies, all the redeploys go to the Veteran Trooper, you roll out, you do all this stuff, then you drop Red Alert from 1, ready him, and then roll out 4 more dice, and just...
Nice.
Do stuff. So so I built it, but never played it. So if anyone out there wants to run with my idea, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yes. Okay, there's one more event. Again, another 3-coster, so this could go in calling in favors. And it's called First Claim. It's a yellow villain. It says spot a yellow character to gain resources equal to the cost of a support or an upgrade in play.
This is the dumbest looking artwork I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, but As Morgan is a really cool character from Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, yeah, I can tell.
Okay, wait.
They both look so cool.
To be fair, the As Morgan was always like the most annoying.
As Morgan.
It's in the flavor text at the
bottom. As Morgan.
Yeah. Like he bothered me. I hated that character. Like it's the one time I was like, I just can't.
Is he the same species as Zeb?
No.
Looks like a fat Zeb.
He does, actually. I actually don't know what species he is, but he's like, he and Hondo are basically like the same character.
Nice.
Like, they're sort of like just trying to make money, bounty hunters. They betray a lot, and so I wonder if we're gonna get an As Morgan. I don't know, but okay. So the ability though, spot a yellow character to gain resources equal to the cost of a support or upgrade in play. And it's villain specifically.
Well, I'm paying 3 to do it.
Yeah, so like you're only netting $1 if you have a 4-cost vehicle in play or 5-cost, or you got your planetary bombardment out, so you're making $3. But I don't know. It feels like a win more kind of card where if you already have a giant thing out and that many resources, I don't think you need this.
And it's also spot a yellow, which the meta's shifting to kind of rainbow low health characters. So like people, for heroes at least, I always go for the yellow character first because of easy pickings. But there, the more you include in your deck, like spotting is still one of those things that makes a big difference. People don't necessarily play like duo blue characters or duo red characters, anymore. Mostly it's rainbow decks now, 3-wide decks. But it's like if little Annie drops turn 1, well, not Annie, but Sebulba in this case. Like people were playing Sebulba Snoke. What was that? What was that vehicle deck?
Sienna Bulba. Is it or is it Sienna Sebulba Snoke? Or is that?
I think that was it.
8, 17. Yeah, that works.
But it's like if your yellow character drops really early, it's just like, well, can't spot a yellow for this already not that great card. And just by the implication, it looks like this card's meant to get like an extra 1 or 2 resources late game. Yeah. Which, if your yellow character, so your character has to make it to the late game, and then you have to be in a situation where it's like, I need $1 more.
Yeah, and you have to have 3 resources to start. Like it, yeah.
I mean, there are ways
there are way easier ways to get $1, here and there. So now the one thing is, when rotation hits and some of those like old ways like chance cubes and things that we've relied on to get resources go out, maybe this becomes viable, but this just seems like a pass, and this doesn't even seem, and it's not draftable. Like
just play Truce. Just play what is that card, something connection that gives you a resource. Just play that. It's a 0-cost event that'll net you probably the same amount you'll be able to get from this.
Yep. Now, you could calling in favors this, but I don't think you'd do that.
Call them in, man. Call in all them favors.
Yep. All right, so that'll do it for all of our spoilers this week. If you tuned out for a bit, the main summary is that Chris loves Solo and really loves
and Rebels
Leet specifically. Yes, and Rebels, and Leet is his new favorite character. So
Leet.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's spoiler season. You can expect to hear from us a lot soon. And I will be looking out for your Cad Bane Veteran Trooper video, Chris. I'm very excited to see that happen. So make it work. Just make it work. Speaking of which, so we do a segment on here, Chris, where Mike has been giving me challenges to try different cards and try to figure out how to make them work. Cards that never see play. And so we did the card Awakening and the Bomar Monastery. And then he challenged me to do Rebellion Leader and Bib Fortuna, which I've gone on record many times that Bib Fortuna is the worst character in the game, just hands down.
Pair him with new Jabba.
I know, that's literally what everybody has said, and I built the deck, but then I literally dropped a whole cup of Starbucks coffee on my computer.
And it was Bib Fortuna that made you do that, huh?
It was. I was so mad that I had to play Bib that I was like, I would rather destroy my laptop than play Bib. But for real,
no. You could try this deck: Bib Fortuna, Palpatine at 1 die, and then you play Way of the Force, get him at Elite, rolling Bib, hit the special. That's 3 Palpatine dice a turn. You could call that deck Palpatine.
The point being, I lost my laptop for a bit, so I have not been able to play any games on TTS that way. But as of today, I got my laptop back, and I can actually jump back into that. And maybe I'll hop on and beat you with Bib, Chris. and we can record that for everyone to enjoy.
Heck yeah.
So
I mean,
don't think
you're not gonna beat me, but
I don't think Bib Fortuna has won a game in Destiny, like, period. But it's fine. Everything's okay.
He's such a cool character, though.
Hey, he is a core character from Return of the Jedi. Don't be.
Yeah, he's actually from a movie, so that's how you know he's gonna be bad. That's the Destiny. If it ain't Disney, it's bad. That's the Star Wars Destiny rule of thumb.
Whatever, man. Rey played against Kylo in the World Championship final this year. So
yeah, 2 Disney characters. Luke wasn't good until we got to Disney Luke.
You're such a conspiracy theorist. Like, I just can't take you seriously ever. So anyways, we'll close this out. Chris, you want to plug any of your content?
Nope.
Okay, good, because I wasn't gonna let you. If you want to check out Chris's content, go to YouTube, type in Hyperloops, Honestly Sarcastic, and
yes.
You'll see him playing his games, which he goes by.
Check out one of my mini car vids.
Oh, it's good to be back in the saddle with you and content. It's great. But seriously, go to CX3, watch his videos, and don't ever take him seriously. If you ever take him seriously, you need to reevaluate how you watch your YouTube videos about Star Wars games.
That's what happened to Jay.
Yeah,
he took me seriously for 1 second, and he died.
Yeah,
same with Mike.
Yeah, Mike and Jay both dead. Rest in peace. All right, well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Patreons, I literally watched a video of the new acrylic token, power action token that we've got of Yoda himself. That's right, we got a Yoda power action token. You like Yoda, right, Chris?
Hate him.
So that is on the way. We've got our custom art. Ezra's coming as well. Printer's taking forever, but that will be out as soon as possible. But you can head to patreon.com/the Jedi Trials if you want to support us so that we can keep creating content and get on the YouTubes and the iTunes and all the fun stuff. Making sure I didn't miss anything. I think that's it, man. Chris, thanks for being on.
Oh, yeah. Anytime.
Yeah. You may have to come back on while while Mike is gallivanting across Europe.
Yeah, we're trying to save up the resources to play Dark Ritual on Mike, but it ain't looking good.
Oh, wait, real quick story. I played a Way of the Force draft with some friends, and I won the draft with Luke, Trusted Informant, Pyatt, and so I had Rainbow. It was awesome. Best moment of it, though, was in the final game. I played Dark Ritual to bring new Luke back to life.
Nice.
I was like, this is the best moment of my Destiny career right here.
I'll finish it off with a story, too, involving the informant. I was trying to bring back Vader 1 with Darksaber, right? And I was like, I don't want to do Vader Raider. I'll do Vader Informant. And I made a whole video.
I know you didn't.
I recorded a 30-minute match, won it, got Darksaber out and everything, made a thumbnail, uploaded it, went to bed, woke up the next morning. The first comment I see is, dude, that's a hero card. I was like, let me tell you, go look at that artwork and you tell me that's a hero. It looks like an orc from World of Warcraft. What do you mean that's a hero?
He's a bad dude informing on the bad dudes, so he's a hero.
Get out of here with that trash. And my opponent just didn't feel the need to alert me to this. He just played the game.
I don't know what
a waste. I had to delete the video because it was so embarrassing. What a waste of time.
You should have left it up, man. You should have left it up. That would be so great. No, do the Mandalorian Super Commando with Vader. It's a fun deck. It's good.
Yeah, I've seen people get beat playing that.
Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, so I Dark Ritual to Luke and brought him back, so I got 6 health, and then I exhausted Dex's Diner and healed 2, so I basically healed 8 in like 2 actions and basically won off that. It felt pretty amazing. It was great. So
that's crazy.
Oh, good stuff. Good Destiny. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. And may the dice be with you.
You've taken your first step into a larger world. Remember, the Force will be with you, always.